Hey everybody, this is Jamie, and today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on sidechain compression in Ableton 9. So I've got a project here, and my synth line is pretty boring. It's pretty flat and doesn't move dynamically at all. To change that, I'm going to use a compressor that is sidechain from the kick track. To do that, I'm going to grab a compressor and drop it on the synth track. And the next thing I'm going to do is select this little drop down area, select sidechain, and then in the audio from section, I'm going to select kick. Now, the idea behind sidechain compression is the same regardless of what DAW you're using, but inside Ableton, this is how it's routed. I know it's different in Pro Tools and Logic, but it's the same idea. Every time that the kick hits, it's going to key the compressor and it's going to compress the synth track. So let's take a listen real quick to how the synth sounds right now. It's pretty flat and it's pretty boring. So I've turned my compressor on and I'm going to go ahead and solo the kick track and hit play. And I should see the signal from the kick showing up in the meters right here inside the compressor. Cool. So the four main parameters that we're dealing with when we're dealing with compressors is the threshold, the ratio, the attack, and the release. To listen to exactly how these parameters are affecting my synth track, I'm going to set some relatively extreme settings so I can really dial in what's going on here. So I'm going to put my ratio pretty high, 21:1. I'll do a fast attack, fast release, and put my threshold pretty low. Let's say -21, -22. And I'm not going to leave the settings like this, but this is going to allow me to really hear what's going on because it's going to be pretty extreme. And the first thing that I'm going to listen to is the release time, because in this case, that's arguably one of the most important parts. The release time is going to determine how the synth gets pushed dynamically with the music. If it's too fast or if it's too slow, it's not going to groove right. So the goal here is to have it pump in a way that moves well with the music. So let's take a listen. And just for good measure, let's go ahead and check that in the context of the mix. Cool, so it sounded pretty good. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and adjust the ratio. Normally I do the attack, but in this instance, I like the fast attack, that it's just compressing right as soon as the kick hits. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the ratio until I can't hear the effects of the compressor anymore, and then I'm going to bump it back up a little bit. The idea here is to have a ratio to where you don't lose the feeling that you get with the way the compressor is releasing the synth, but you don't want to do it too high to where it's compressing it too much. So let's take a listen to that. Sweet, so I'm liking how that sounds. The last thing I'm going to do is adjust my threshold. I'm going to bring this up to a level to where it's not compressing it too much, but I'm still hearing the nice pumping and swelling effect that I've achieved with the settings so far. So that sounds drastically different than it did before, and I'm happy with how it sounds. Thanks for watching, guys. Look out for more tutorials coming out soon. Check out my website, jblakeaudio.com. Take it easy.